What kind of mistakes do you see? Being a guide, you see a lot of people. You've seen a
Hmm.
lot of people fish. What are some of the most common mistakes you see people make? Like, I'm sure you could go further. You probably got
We can get as
stories
basic
on
as
this
we want, or we can get as complicated as we want.
one.
First
um,
one is they hold the rod upside down, right? They flip it
yeah.
upside down and hold the reel up top. That's the first one. No, but I don't see a lot of mistakes. I see a lot of people that just haven't done it, and that's a lot of fishing. Is like I'll get people that don't know how to cast well, right?
Hmm.
And people will be other people in the boat will be trying to tell them how to cast. And look, once you understand the basic of how a trigger finger works and how it works, the only way to learn is to do it. So I just
Hmm.
tell them, look, just keep casting. By the end of the day, you're gonna be good at this. Like, there's no way to like tell you how to do it. Once you understand that this finger lets go of the line and the rod goes that way, from there it's a matter of practice makes perfect. Um, but I can't say there's a lot of mistakes that I see continuously. I mean, different fishermen fish different ways. Some are real quick at the trigger on it, but that all depends on what you're throwing. Like it can get,
Hmm.
it just can let you know. Once again, it can get real technical, right? We're throwing lures, we got to stick them quicker than we're throwing live bait or dead bait. We want them to eat it a little more. Um, but yeah, I don't see a lot of consistent issues. One probably the biggest one is people reel against the drag, right? The drag will be going out. You hear it going zzz, 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 and they're turning the handle. Well, all
Mm.
you're doing is twisting that line up, and at some time it's got to recoil.
Yeah.
So, and you're wearing that reel out. You will wear your gear out quick like that. Um, Probably another one that I see a lot of is people drop the rod, right? So they'll be reeling and they pump and they drop it real quick and they try and reel. Well, I had a tarpon on the other day, and that it wasn't the day I was telling you about, but the day after that, I had a customer group, and we fished with two fathers and two sons. We fished for 5 hours and got one tarpon bite, right, and a bunch of sharks. At the end of
Mm.
the day, we hooked one, the last hour of the day, and they fought it for 30, 40 minutes. They never
Dang.
took pressure off that fish. When I got it to the boat, the circle hook was sitting in the corner of the mouth. It never penetrated. It
Really?
jumped three times, and they fought it for 30, 40 minutes. If they'd have
It
dropped
didn't
that
even
rod
cut
one
the hook.
time, yep, they tried to, and it barely touched the side, and it never. I literally dropped it out. And that's after
Wow.
30 minutes because they didn't let pressure off. If you drop that rod, that's how I see a lot of fish lost, right? I mean,
Mm.
and it's just because what people don't understand is when you're reeling, when you go to go lower the rod's got to be lowered at the same point at which you're reeling, if not a little slower, so you keep that rod bent. But I thought that was
Mhm.
quite impressive that, all two of the boys and both dads all got on the rod and they kept that rod bent the entire time and landed that fish. And that could be the difference, right?
Mhm.
So I would say those are the two biggest things that I see. It's reeling against the drag, and especially when you're in a fight with like a tarpon for 30, 40 minutes, like that stuff matters, man. Once you get 10 minutes
Mhm.
into 20 minutes into a fish fight, you're like, you really want to land it. It really hurts when you lose that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You get two, three
What
bites a day. You're working for them.
Yeah. How would you recommend someone mess around with that drag? Like, you know, how would they tell whether it's too tight, too loose? How to mess with that?
We're getting some loaded questions here, but yeah, no. Once again, it comes down to the species, right? If it's in the rod hole and we're fishing like we call flat line, just a bait with a hook out the back, we want that drag pretty loose, right? We want it.
Okay.
We don't because if that fish comes and hits it at a wide open speed, he's going to pop it instantly if it got any drag on it. I want him to kind of spit with it. I want to pick it up, tighten up the drag, and get him tight. Um, if I'm tarpon fishing, I want it barely where I can pull it out, right? And if I'm inshore fishing, I want it kind of in between those two.
Mm.
So
Okay.
kind of gives you an idea. Like tarpon fishing and bottom fishing, I would say are about the same. I barely want to be able to pull it out. But I'm running 60-pound line and leader, right? But you're
Mhm.
just gonna pull on it to where it can barely come out. Inshore, it's like an in between. Like you don't want too much, too little. It's kind of a finicky spot. Because you can always tighten it down. You go in the mangroves, you can tighten it down. I thumb it a lot, what they call thumb it, like where I
Mm.
grab the spool a little bit. Like that's kind of my extra drag. I don't ever tighten it in a fight. I just kind of
Yeah.
rub my finger on it and kind of slow it down when I need to. Um, and then, like I said, if you're throwing flat lines out the back, just you got to loosen up those drags. That fish will hit it at a speed, that you got to be able to let him run with it, and then, because you're using circle hooks, you're just tightening it up and tightening it into them.
Hey there, sorry to take you away from the video, but real quick, did you know that on average a boat owner will spend between $1,000 and $5,000 a year just on servicing their engine? And you could actually pocket and save a lot of that money if you would just do the service yourself. It might seem like a daunting task, but I guarantee you virtually everyone can do it with our guidance and the Boaters program. This is just one skill that you could learn inside the program because we have hundreds of other videos teaching you all kinds of boating skills, as well as a weekly live stream where we have questions and answers with me, as well as a chat feature where you can send videos and pictures, ask all kinds of questions, or look for some advice or some guidance on a project that you're doing on your boat. You can join the program by hitting the first link in the description, clicking join, or visiting bornagainboating.com. Now back to the video.